Oh, I had the best time last night, man. I had the best time. The absolute best time. What happened? The fucking Mage Tower actually arrived in the new WoW patch. You know that thing that people were super hyped for and didn't come out until yesterday? Until literally yesterday. It actually rolled around so they could do the Mage Tower, and it was so weird. It was so weird. I was trying to look on the Wayback Machine. I was trying to go to the Wayback Machine so I could, like, find the threads on day one of the original Mage Tower coming out. And I swear to God, everything is word for word the same. It was mental. It was mental. I just wanted to talk about this journey that's clearly going on. And it's really, I mean, I just found it super interesting. I found it so interesting that it was really cool. It was really fucking cool, man. I found this over here. Check it out, man. The Mage Tower review from way back when. Got the original intro. Holla ballers, what's going on? Ew, that microphone. That microphone. Oh my God. Cringe. The cringe. Oh, the cringe. Oh my God. Holla ballers, what's... Oh God, it pops and everything. Holla ballers, what's going on? It's Mikey. Going on, it's Preacher. Let's talk about the Mage Towers. I actually finished every single Mage Tower in the first Mage Tower after 7.3. Survival Hunter. Why did I open on a clip of a Survival Hunter? What the fuck is that, man? Why did I open on a clip of the Survival Hunter? Like, that's guilty as... That's guilty. For a start, that is a guilty point. They're the best class. I don't know, man. It was pretty fresh. I can't remember when Survival came into the game, actually. I know I did not play Survival at all until I had to do the Mage Tower for it. Besides, like, PTR testing and guides and that stuff, and then I just ditched it. Was it Legion? Yeah, I, like, played it for, like, half an hour and I ditched it. I think I did a chart on difficulty. That's what I wanted to look for. I know I did it somewhere. There we go. Okay, yeah, I did do this. Oh, wow, look at that font. Round of applause. Round of applause. Chris would be proud. Chris would be so proud of this. Look at this. I put so much effort in. I think that's Ariel. Oh, so good. So good. Oh, amazing. Absolutely amazing. Now, okay. Let me put some tunes on here because... Yesterday, I was like, I checked out some streams. I watched Tettles do his Mage Tower. I watched Ben Rookie do a few. And I checked out JPC, who was doing his Mage Towers. And it was very much like day one of the Mage Tower coming out. Now, here's the thing. That we talked about this months ago. Like, well before the Mage... Years ago, probably. Before the Mage Tower even came back. And I think I asked Ian when I had that chat with Ian at BlizzCon. Would we get the Mage Tower back? Because it was easily the most fun. This is why I'm interested in it. This was the most fun I had in World of Warcraft. For years. It was the most fun I had in World of Warcraft for literally years. I didn't get anything as fun as the Mage Tower to do. In fact, I didn't stream for several days because I was just grinding Mage Towers out. Alright, what did I rate the easiest? Unholy, Havoc, Balance, BM Survival, Windwalker, Ret, Arcane, Dis, Assassination Rogue, Enhancement Shaman, Demo, Arms Warrior. Medium was Frost Blood, Vengeance. My hardest ones were the tank ones. My hardest ones were the tank ones. Now, there are some lies here, and that's kind of what I started to see yesterday in the feedback for this. Like Fury Warrior was one of my hardest ones. And if you ask other people, here's the interesting thing. If you ask other people, their list will be completely different to this. For the most part, their list will be massively different to this. Because there's one significant difference between the Mage Tower when it originally existed and when it came out now. We weren't scaled at all. And so... everybody who ever did the Mage Tower originally did it in completely different circumstances to other people. Like, massively different circumstances. Everybody's gear was totally different. So I was a main mage at the time. And so I did Frost Mage the very first day. And it wasn't that hard because I had a mythic fucking geared to the teeth Frost Mage. It really wasn't that hard. I did do the wall before Tomb. I did do them before Tomb came out. But they were if I'm not wrong, only like 4 paladins in the world did the Mage Tower in the first week. One of them was Shade, I think. I think Shade might have been 4th or 5th in the world to do the prop paladin one. This one took me, and this is what people forget, I think, about when it originally came out. And I'm talking about the threads that are clearly calling this way overtuned, and I want to go through that again in a second. But prop paladin, I think, took me about 230 attempts with a reasonably geared prop paladin, like pre-tomb, but reasonably geared prop paladin. It took me about 230 attempts. The Guardian Druid one, I had to do without... There was a legendary that made your thrash bigger. Do you remember? And the biggest thing at the time was if you even wanted a chance at doing the Guardian Druid one, you needed that legendary. Lufa. Yeah, Lufa. I did not have Lufa, so it was doable. I did it without Lufa. I did not have Lufa. I did Affliction Warlock without the slow ring. And again, that was a big thing at the time. And that's happening again! It's happening again. It's impossible if you don't have X, Y, and Z. And I was reading through the threads as they were happening. Let's put this on the background. It's going to play some footage, but I want to show this as well. I was always on the WoW Reddit, and all the threads started. They had a mega thread for it, which was really cool. Going through is like, I'm getting one shot. And what was amazing to me is all the same things started happening again. Is so many people have no idea what happens in the Mage Tower because it's all mechanics based. Now, it was reading through this because what happens, as you can see, like if you look at the time of the posts, is that it's bullshit, it's hard, it can't do it. Then like 3 hours later, I just did it. It is possible. I just had to learn, right? I had to learn and get it done. And then I did it. And I figured it out. And I saw this constantly, like the Shadow Priest one is impossible. Edit, update, 2 hours later. Oh, I worked it out and I finished it now. And this is the kind of stuff that I fucking love. There you go, see here. The Shadow Priest one is tough. I can't keep up with the claws. I managed to get the first one with the interrupt, the second one with cooldowns, but I get caught by the third one. I also barely dented the main guy in the middle with all of my cooldowns the first time he comes out. It feels impossible at the minute, in my opinion. Edit. Getting past the claws now. Just can't seem to DPS race down fast enough. Edit 2. Would love to hear if any Shadow Priests managed to do this. Everything seems manageable except raced. If you kill his brother 3 times, he enrages, so you have to finish him before his brother goes down a 3rd time. He just seems to have too much HP. Edit 3. I fucking did it. That's the shit, dude. And anybody who hates this stuff, man, God, bro. Really? That's the shit right there. That's the fucking shit. This is impossible. I can't do it. Wait a minute. No, I'm seeming to get a bit further now. I'm learning what happens. I'm figuring it out. Edit 2. I just can't seem to work it out. Edit 3. I fucking did it. That's how we did it. Here's a tip from the gods, courtesy of books on YouTube. Take Strength to Madness. Place it on the small fiends. Then use the buff to put it. And what I read, and this goes on throughout all of this, and it also was on MMO Champion as well. I was reading through this morning because I was super curious. I was super fucking curious. Is all the typical wine that came out with it. I'm not saying it's not harder, by the way. I want to be totally clear on that. It will definitely be way harder than most people who did this. Unquestionably, just because of gear scaling. But what you can see is that how many players, and this was the biggest issue I ever had with doing guides on World of Warcraft, there are so many people who never respec. It's not even part of their fucking journey. Like, a part of their character. They never respect. They have no fucking clue whatsoever what most of their talents do. In any way, shape, or form. Or how to utilize those talents because they never take them in the first place. Right? They never take them in the first place. So why the fuck would I know how these talents work and do stuff? And nothing in this game, or in World of Warcraft, prepares you for a 7-minute long fight. Right? Nothing in the world prepares you for a 7-minute long fight. They never do. There's nothing in the open world. LFR doesn't even really last that long. A 7-minute solo fight, nothing in the game prepares you for something like the Mage Tower, which is why I love it and a lot of people fucking hate it. They absolutely hate it because it's such a change of... It's such a change of scenario. I think all the Mage Towers have been beaten now. There are definitely some that are harder, and comparing it to Legion is wacky because everybody did it in different things, which is obscene to me. But this kind of feedback is the best. People working together. Like, this is so good for the game. This is so good. Like, it's unbelievable. It's like, hey, I found some success using the last word talent. If you silence the first time, this is what's so healthy for a video game like WoW, and why it made me so excited that I wanted to talk about it. Because this is what is so good about it, is people as a community working it out. We've got a puzzle, it's doable, we can figure it out, and working on it. It's like, it feels like it has 10% more health than it should. Edit. I can reliably now get it to 30%. Then the combination of Karam running too fast, the rune spawning in a bad location, which, God forbid, I've been through that horror before. And having absolutely nothing to deal with the hand usually gets me. It's asinine that everything says defeat both of them, but if you kill Karam... I was surprised by this originally. This shouldn't be a surprise now, but it was a surprise originally to me as well, that if you blast him, you get down there. Godspeed for it. I keep getting spanked by the DPS check. 28 tries max. I survived 2 minutes. It doesn't feel like I'm getting anywhere. Interesting. Assassination used to be one of the easiest. It did, but again, you've got different tools now. You're not playing the same class as you did in Legion. And then people eventually overcoming it and beating this challenge. This is great. This is great. The question is, who is this content designed for? Like, what's the percentage of people that should overcome this? Because what do you get? You get like a bear skin, and you get some subjectively like or dislike transmog, right? That's right. I feel like the change in FF14 Walker is as well. The regular leveling combat is very easy compared to what you do in trials and stuff. Most MMOs work that way, because the simple fact is, when you take... This is what happened with Warfronts, right? And Islands. They have to be designed for everybody, which means you need to make sure the lowest link in the chain can complete it. So world combat in an MMO, for the most part, is going to fucking suck. If you enjoy some sort of video game challenge, it's gonna suck. Unquestionably. That's something you... Torghast is a great example. Everybody needs to do it. Literally everybody needs to do it. We can't make it hard, which is why they crushed down Torghast as they did. It's the same thing. If it's content that is like, okay, we need everybody to be able to do this, then it's gonna suck. But this was day one, going through this, and you can see that there are people... I was reading some mad shit. I don't know if I can find it right now. I was reading some mad shit like, oh, I did the prop pally one. I did every tank challenge week 1. No, you fucking didn't, you fucking liar. You absolute fucking liar. It's in here somewhere. It's in this thread. It's like, you fucking liar. No, you didn't. Or I did all 36 in the first 2 weeks. No, you didn't, you fucking liar. You absolute fucking liar. I might not have been the best player in Legion, but I wasn't shit by any means. And it took me like a month and a half to do all of them. And some of them took forever to do. Like, they were really fucking hard. Really hard. They may have been dog shit easy at the end of Legion, but they didn't start that way by any means. But they were universally... This is the important thing. The Mage Tower was universally hated when it first came out. And I wonder how long they'll leave it as it is. They're memeing? No, they're not memeing. It's just their memories are fucked. Like, often I have to go back to videos like this and get memory. I did this before today, before we talked about it. So I had to go back and remind myself just how hard some of these were. Can we all admire this sitting position with the hood up? This is gamer face, right? This is absolute gamer face. This is how we game. Right? This is what the Mage Tower did originally. Alright? Let's take a look at this real quick. If you want the link to what Mage Tower does to you, that's Mage Tower. Alright? You grow the bitch tits. You get the fucking hood up. You get the headset over the hood. This is the reality of what the Mage Tower's like. It's not something you walk in on day 1 and kill. This is what the Mage Tower does to you, man. The second chin starts to droop through the hoodie. Right? You know what I mean? You literally get the bitch tits, you get the second chin coming outside of a fucking hood, and you get the hood up. I killed some mate day 1, but your gear would have been way different, right? Oh, but I'm having... This is me. No joke. This is me having the best time I can have in a video game. This is me at my absolute happiest. Like, no joke. This is me at my absolute happiest. I'm so happy. I'm so happy right now. Like, I'm happy internally. Let's remember that. I'm happy internally. This is my gamer moment. This is me having the best time I can possibly have. You know? I'm not even breathing. I think if they literally could spoon feed me Monster at the time, I would have been even happier, for sure. I would have been even happier to do this. I'm having the best time ever. If my wife looked at me right at that point, she would have divorced me. But for me, I'm having the best time of my life. Oh, I ran for the stunt there to get that done. I'm obviously recording there, so I'm sat up. I'm obviously recording a video. But it was so weird to look through this progression thread and be like so... I was incredibly happy with this. To see this... And I don't think it'll stay that way, because it looked to me like a lot of people... One, there's some real negatives to this. One, it's definitely going to be way harder for nearly everybody. Nearly everybody, it's going to be way, way harder. And some of the fights have been made harder. That was clear to see. Just watching a few streams, they have made them harder to try and counterbalance things. But if you're hunting cosmetics and you don't really invest into the game, then you're definitely going to have a bad time. You're definitely... Look at this. This is so good. Hey, here's some tips for Guardian. These are the talents I ran. Brambles give you some much needed passive DPS. Wild Charge lets you come back from the knockback. Balance Affinity gives you the range you need in order to DPS properly. Heart of the Wild gives you the DPS in phase 2. Rend and Tear because DPS, right? Like, all this going through... I haven't seen anything in World of Warcraft like this for so long. Where the community is starting to come together and trying to help each other out. And I love this so much. I absolutely adore seeing this. It made me genuinely excited. I'm not going to jump into the Mage Towers myself. I really just don't want to go into World of Warcraft right now. But to see this happening... Since the last Mage Tower... yeah, I mean, it's the kind of thing that you do see when a good puzzle comes out. There was that Miss Pandaria maze that people had to solve. A lot of people came together for that. But MMOs live and thrive on this kind of community interaction. Once you get past the whine of, I tried it 3 times, or even if you tried it 10 times, I went in unprepared, I tried it 5 times. There were so many people quoting their item level, and it scaled. It was insane. It's like, I'm 220 item level. Do I need 210, or do I need 230 to get this done? Like, they had no idea how it worked. They clearly had no idea how the mechanics were, and then gave up calling it impossible. Who expected it to basically be like... What would we say? Like, a scenario. Right? They expected it to be like a scenario. Or, not to blame it on them, they expect it to be like pretty much every other piece of content that comes into WoW, which is like, it should be pretty easy. Mage Towers make me rethink how well I am at Sub-Bro. God, I suck. That's the best attitude. I suck. I need to get better. I suck. Because they've all been beaten. They're all doable. There's ways to learn and ways to get better. And now I think people are posting videos. I think, like, Arms Warrior was unbeatable, and then someone posted a video. It's like, well, if you go with this, you can actually get second wind working, and then you can get all your health back, and then you can reflect, and you can interrupt, and it actually makes it a lot of sense. All the best players know they suck. All the time. All the time. Constantly. It was so cool to see. So cool to see. But it's going to be hard because of how many people beat it. Like, I cheesed the Resto Druid one by taking... there was a trinket that spanned blades around. And that made the Resto Druid one really trivial. But before I got that trinket, it was really hard. I think the Resto Druid was one of the ones I had to do post-tomb. I think it was like one of those to get it done. Scare Beast is a big one. Plot twist. I don't know if any of my old guild can remember this. But do you remember the first raid of Shadowlands? And it had that guy who had who spawns the bears. Is a huntsman, is he called? He had the bears with him. So during PTR testing, obviously you science absolutely everything. Yeah, huntsman. Do you remember Vappies? Do you remember I was like, oh, you can Scare Beast this? Alex, who's been a hunter for like 8 years, was like, Scare Beast? I haven't even got that shit on my bars. You know, there are spells in the spellbook that people don't even know exist or haven't used in like a decade. I was like, oh, you can Scare Beast these. He's like, Scare Beast? What the fuck? He obviously knew about it. He's not a noob. He's like, I don't even have that shit on my bars. Like, I don't use Scare Beast since like fucking Miss Pandaria. What the fuck? Scare Beast. And like, Scare Beast is a game changer. And I think something happened for Tattles yesterday. It's like, have you tried using Cyclone? And he's like, Cyclone? Cyclone works? And then he used Cyclone. And he like, I was like, oh shit, Cyclone works. You can get around this stuff. But it's so fun. I don't think it'll stay like this though, right? Because there are already talks that I was reading that you could build these perfect time-walking sets that have like... it should, maybe. I mean, I never have a problem with content becoming easier over time. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. But I wonder how long they'll leave it this way. Because this feedback is... What's the percentage of people you want to get through it? What's the percentage of people you want to get through it? As a optional piece of content, which is what it is. It's optional. It's totally optional. I would imagine you want at least 25%. What you don't want is, if it's like 90%, it's way too easy. It's way too easy, and the whole point of the challenge is destroyed. You probably want something like 25. Yeah, 25 over time, and then gradually increasing more. Hoo-hoo! I want to see what Crusher thinks. I don't know if he followed this. I have no idea if Crusher followed this. Because Crusher, I think Crusher did all the Mage Towers, maybe? Surely had enough fucking alts. Surely had enough alts. Or maybe not, actually. I don't think Crusher was as alt-heavy as I was. Maybe not. Day one should be like
the plan, big man.
2%.
Well, right now I'm waiting for Mike. Right now I'm just doing some...
Woohoo!
Oh, hello?
Did you see the Mage Tower feedback, bro?
I was watching you on the toilet, mate. I was watching...
Oh, nice!
No, I kind of went to bed early yesterday, so I didn't, like, basically when NA came up, so I'm gonna do it tonight after we've done Minecraft.
Oh, you're doing the Mage Tower?
Yeah.
What are you going for?
You need to... Well, I'm going for all of them.
You're doing all of them? Or all 36?
Eventually, yes. There's an achievement for doing all 36, and I want that achievement, so...
I kind of want to race you.
Race me? The thing is... they're scaled, right? So you don't even need to level the characters that you don't have at max. So that's nice. They just need to be above Legion level.
That'll be a long-ass race. Oh, no. That'll be a long-ass race. God, I am just looking at me doing the Affliction one where I didn't have the slow ring, and it was horrendous.
Yeah, I did
the
I did it with slow.
Burning Rush.
I did it with slow ring.
You did it with the slow ring? You coward. You fucking pussy.
Well, it wasn't so much it was the only legendary I had. Do you remember? Maybe you know. I told you this before, but I leveled a warlock to play in a friends guild, and it was the week of where the gym was up. So I was like, I'll go kill with the gym, and then I got the slow ring and a Arcana crystal, and the first one was like, I might as well do Mage Tower.
No, Legion legendaries aren't working. I think the Heart of Azeroth works, but they've disabled. I wonder though. I bet the worst part is you don't have your Covenants, you don't have Shadowlands Legos.
Yeah.
So, and you're scaled down as well. So there's so much borrowed power in the game right now that is your new spell stuff. It's like you're playing an alpha. It's like you're playing an alpha Shadowlands character. That's got to be awful. That's got to be awful.
I was thinking the same.
Yeah, like that just the gameplay alone has to be fucking horrendous.
I know there was posts weeks ago, and people have been doing this. So, like, how you have this Timewalking gear, people have been doing the same for Legion Mage Tower.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that as well. Like, people... Apparently, what you could do is level an alt, and when it hits 45 or something, you can send a load of gear to it or some shit. I don't know. Something weird like that.
I didn't really look into it. I'm just gonna do it.
I'm just gonna do it. You did it on Guardian Druid before they removed it on Mark-Versal. Yeah, I'm so... But, like... Looking what I was talking about, Christian, that got me so excited. Why I wanted to talk about it this morning is seeing the community come together to try and overcome these challenges because they've all been beaten now. Is so cool to see in WoW because it just hasn't happened in forever.
Yeah, I did all 36 back then as well. So like, I'm hyped to try and see what I can remember, what I can remember, and stuff like that. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I mean, all the mechanics look the same, but obviously, because this is the weird thing that I'm seeing from people. Is because they all did it in different gear. None of us did it under the same circumstances.
Oh, yeah. I remember I did Prot Pala, Resto Shaman, and Warlock like super early. And then the rest, I like all of them I did here and there. But I did a lot of them like, even with Taurus gear, I did a few, right? So...
Well, what was your hardest one? And same to the chat as well. What was your hardest Mage Tower back in the day? Because I bet it's all different.
Funnily enough, the hardest ones I had to do was actually on your hard list as well. It was Fury Warrior and Prot Paladin, probably.
Yeah, let's go back to that list a sec. Yeah, look how different it is in the chat. And anybody who's watching this, who's been bitching about the Mage Tower, if you can see my chat right now, everybody had a different experience. That's what you got to remember.
Yeah.
Like, even though you had a really easy time, someone else had a really hard time. Fury Warrior is one of those that everybody shit on me for. I remember probably people who are here right now shit on me that I rated Fury Warrior as one of the hardest. But my warrior had no gear, and I think that Agatha fight took me like 11 minutes, 12 minutes.
It didn't take me that long, but I had the same issue. You know, I said this yesterday. I was talking to chat, and then they were like, wait, how is warrior hard? Just click draw on soul. I'm like, well, my warrior wasn't geared. I didn't have Nighthold trinkets and tier set to just one-shot
Exactly.
the boss. They were like, how is that hard? Just draw the soul, and then kite for 2 minutes, and then do it again, and then the boss is dead. I'm like, what? I didn't have this.
Yeah, I didn't have it at all. Yeah, Fury Warrior. If you didn't have a geared Fury Warrior, it was insane, that Agatha fight. It was actually fucking nuts. It went on forever.
The amount of times I last second used my leap slam or whatever it's called, I forget now, into an orb. Oh, you could make a compilation with that.
Yeah, Guardian Druid was hard. If you didn't have Lufa, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Guardian Druid was insanely rough. Because the only time you could DPS phase 1 was by charging in, using cooldowns, and getting out again. And you had to time that with interrupting his heal. Because I think it's a heal the guy does in the middle. You had to time it with that. So that was your only DPS window. The other thing you could do was you could shimmy your Druid on the edge of the debuff. So your Thrash would land, but you had to kind of like wiggle around the edge. As the boss was moving around, you had to wiggle around the edge in a circle in order to make that work. Otherwise, you just couldn't touch the guy in the middle at all. It was mental. It was really fucking hard. If you had Luffy, you didn't need to do any of that. But that's not what I had. I didn't have that.
I always like I'm very much with what you're saying, because like anything that was a healer, like any off-spec offer healer was easy, because back in Legion, right, I was in a 7-day or like 6 old kind of guild, so all my healers were geared. So any healer was easy, and any healer's off-spec were easy. But anything else was just 8s, because I hadn't played it or geared it.
Well, the healer one was mental, because it was the start of the healer challenge is way harder than the end of the healer challenge. Which is strange.
The wave bit, yeah.
The wave bit, because it's all about DPS. Like, you ended up DPSing way more than you healed during phase 1 and phase 2. You had to learn how to DPS. And one thing we all know from World of Warcraft, if you've done any pugging, healers don't damage. They're better now, but back in the day, especially, healers doing DPS was just a hit and miss at best. Like, so few healers knew how to effectively DPS while also being a healer. Like, it's way, way better these days. And when I did the healing guides, the big focus of all my healing guides was using mouse over macros or click or whatever, because you should be damage dealing all the time. You should always be damage dealing. And if you get into the habit of doing that, you're going to be just such a better player overall. But I know there was so many healers who'd just wait for a health bar to move and then they react instead of taking part in the group activity. Which is what you needed to do, because if you could DPS those ads in the phase 1 of the healing Mage Tower, I don't know if I've got a clip of it. Here we... Oh, what look? Oh, I'm in full gamer... Crusher, look at this gamer face on my stream right now. Look at me.
You look angry.
That is... That is the chumpness.
You look well angry.
Well, I tell you what I used to... Like I said, I was saying to the stream, man, this is me at my absolute happiest, is I would come into the office and I'd say I am... Because you got to remember, doing what I do, if I'm going to play a game, it's probably for work as well, right? Even though I'm having fun, it's probably for work as well. Which means I need to sit up, I need to... Well, not then, because I had hats on, but comb my hair, and I need to be, I need to be gaming face. But what I used to do for the Mage Tower was fuck all that noise. I don't want to talk about what I'm doing. I don't want to voice it over. What I did is I sat down, I got myself a big can of Monster, I did this, and I just turned like my stream PC on and just pressed record, and then I just played for like 4 hours. That was it. That's all I did, is I just sat down and I played for like 4 hours.
Yeah, I remember like just full on degenerate.
I mean, mad degenerate. Yeah, crazy degenerate to get this done. But it was
so fun.
It was really fun, and I hope it sticks around for people, because even though the rewards might not seem worth it, it's not as good as getting the artifact appearances, that's for damn sure. There's that spinny blades trinket. Oh, I bloodlusted phase 1. Holy shit.
Yeah, because it was a long... You had it in the last phase as well.
Oh, yeah, because it was really long, the healer challenge, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was like, you know, you had to go up the whole gauntlet up the stairs and all the up...
Yeah, it was. It was really hard. Cycling through the video, faces unchanges. I can't believe this gamer face. I can't believe I put this in a video. It's so, it's so unflattering.
I don't know. I'm turned on.
It's so unflattering. It really, I can't believe I put this out to the public. Like, yeah, this is fine. Nobody's going to mock me for this at all. Especially with that shadowed cleft on the chin. You should check for a pulse. It looks like I'm dead. It does. My eyes aren't even moving.
Dead. The only reason I think that's not a picture is you blinking.
Do I blink?
You did a few seconds ago.
Oh, I did. I just blinked. I think I moved. So pale? Yeah, man. Well, the Mage Tower made you pale. Like, the Mage Tower is unhealthy basement gaming for me. I mean, I will differ a lot from a lot of people who dislike the challenge of the Mage Tower and don't like having that kind of challenge in their games, which is fine. But for me, this is me at my absolute scummiest degenerate gamer mode, and I'm so happy right now.
Dude, I'm just happy we don't have to do the nether shard farming.
Oh god, look how bald. Look at the giga bald. This was my hardest one by miles. The Prop Paladin.
Prop Paladin one?
Yeah, Prop Paladin was... I actually, at one point, was... my Prop Paladin had no gear. So the way I overcame this was that I was trying to scam... for a long time. Was it Velen who's in that fight? Yeah, Velen has a ridiculously good melee DPS. So if you were to interrupt and drag the boss onto Velen, Velen would melee him for more damage than you would do. In fact, I might be trying to do it here. This might be me trying to get him over. Maybe not. I eventually Blizzard fixed it. They nerfed Velen's melee DPS. But Velen would solo phase 1 for you, so you could get through this.
I remember doing the Prop Paladin one and like struggling and being so happy. And then obviously I knew the mechanics, and then I went on Blood Decay and I one-shot it because Blood Decay was so much easier.
I think, yeah, Vengeance was way easier as well because you could never get knocked off as Vengeance. Like, that was so unbelievable, is you could never get knocked off as Vengeance. That was so good. If you do Prop Paladin
first and then did any tank after, it was just a cake. Compared.
Yeah, it was an absolute cake.
Unless you didn't have Lufa, then Lufa is... If no Lufa, then it was pretty hard as well.
Yeah, I think I had a lot of HP on Prop Paladin because the talents I took. I had an HP trinket on or something like that. Really crazy, but I guess my message was for everybody who's saying is that how I remember one-shotting and stuff like this. That wasn't the case. Like, maybe at the end of Legion, if you were in Antorus gear and stuff like that. But
you could outgear this so hard.
Yeah, you could outgear. I never did it outgeared, obviously, because you couldn't repeat them. So I did it back then. But realistically, if I was to try and even put a guess, if I go back to the list a sec, I think Prop Paladin was my hardest, and that was like 230 attempts. I remember having to stop and go and farm, because you had to pay. Like, people are moaning that it's like, it's only up for 2 weeks. You had to pay per try. Do you remember that?
Yeah, nether shards. You need 1,000 nether shards each time. I remember just going around killing grey mobs. Like, oh, I need 2 more, then I can do it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it was really kind of inaccessible, unless you, certainly on alts. You had to farm constantly in able to even try.
You remember nether shard gambling?
I do remember nether shard gambling. Yeah, I never won. But
I did it day 1 and got the big one. I got hated by my entire guild.
You'd rather that than time gated, though? It was also time gated, and people forget this as well. The Mage Tower was not up all the time. In fact, it cycled through, and you had to build it.
Yeah, but to be fair with the time gating, people have been complaining about Timewalking being this time gated. Like, if, for example, in Final Fantasy, you wanted to do the old content, here you go. I don't understand why Timewalking is on a rotation. Why can't you just do it all the time? Any of them in WoW. That's
but also they're not. I wouldn't compare it to FF because FF is designed from the ground up that you basically play that exact character. Like, if they had the Mage Tower, you would be playing a Legion character. That's
fair.
Yeah, their systems are similar in theory, but in practice are very, very different because they don't have borrowed power, at least not yet. at all. So I mean, you know, as the chat knows as well as I do, a Legion character is nothing like a Shadowlands character. They're not even remotely close. Yeah, I fucking wish as well. I fucking wish, but they're not even remotely similar because they have like so much borrowed shit, especially Legion. Legion is dripping in borrowed shit, and Shadowlands is dripping in borrowed shit as well. Yeah. And the talents change, and the classes change, and all that kind of stuff. Whereas FF is like, yeah, your character is still identical pretty much for the most part to what you played back then. So it gets close, very, very close to what it's originally like. But Timewalking does not do that. It's an approximation at best. It's not particularly accurate by any means.
But my main point was I don't understand why it's time gated like at all. With the
there's some argument to be said, especially if you need more gear, right? So let's say you're not a particularly good player and you do need more gear. There's an argument to be said. It's like it's not up right now, but you've got 2 weeks or whatever to go and work on getting some gear to help you do it. Now, yeah, I'm not big on time walking.
No, if it was down for like a month, I could understand. But you know, it's 4 months between each time, right? You can do it like twice a year.
4 months?
Yeah, because it goes Legion time walking, then it goes back to, then you need to wait a month for the next one, which is, well, TPC. Then you wait a month, then it's Rav. Then you wait a month, then it's Kata. Then you wait a month, then it's Mob. Then you wait a month, then it's Legion. Warlords, and then it's Legion. Like, you need to, that's the thing.
Yeah, that's heavy. That's
time walking is once a month, and it's the level above each, like it's, so it's 5, right? 5 or 4 months between each now.
So they get 2 weeks now, and then there's 5 months till they can try again.
Yes.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying. Like, there's time gating, and then there's this.
Okay, yeah. So how long was the Mage Tower essentially down for? A week?
It was.
Does that sound about right?
Week to 2, right? Depended on where people put in their resources, right? Because sometimes you could get Mage Tower. There was 3. So you could get Mage Tower and then another one and then Mage Tower. But sometimes you got Mage Tower, the other one, and then the other one, and then Mage Tower.
You've just brought up a memory there of me raging so hard when people weren't building the Mage Tower.
Yeah. They were like building the other ones,
you
right?
idiots! Why? Why would you build the fucking other one that gives you follower gear or some bullshit? Are you high? Why
Everybody
would you build
that? The legendary follower gear. No, Mage Tower, come on.
No, come on. Woohoo! Put it in the Mage Tower.
Mage Tower.
Woohoo! Get it done. There are some that are going to be way harder now. Apparently, they really heavily buffed the, I forget the name of it, but is it Sigrun? The one where Ret Pally Arcane Mage was. And I think it had
the one in the Halls of Valor.
Yeah, because that one used to bug out. I don't know if you remember, it used to bug out about 50%. You had one bad overlap at 50%, and then it just essentially stopped doing mechanics.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it was 50% or it was just, I think it was a certain amount of things, and then it just stopped doing stuff. Like, I remember one of my strats was just live, and then eventually it wouldn't do mechanics.
Yeah, that was about 50% health, I think. Oh, well, they were on a timer, so it probably lined up for me at 50%, but it was a timer.
Yeah. I think it was timer, because I remember one of mine, I just literally just ran in a circle and let the game run out.
Yeah. I remember this, but I think that this time, though, it continues to do stuff, so you can't do that. Oh my god, I'm bald and degenerate pose in this one. Oh my god. The FOMO is strong? No, I'm not going to play it. I'm not. I'm, like, tempted. I'm not going to lie, I'm tempted because it's super fun. But I don't want to get back into WoW, like, right now. No. I'm not doing that.
Fine, guys, I'll do it tonight.
No, I've already got Warframe to do, I've got PoE to do, and we've got Minecraft at the same time. Like, I'm busy enough as it is.
Speaking of Minecraft, dude, there's a lot of stuff in here that happened after you went off.
Oh my god, really?
It's positive, it looks really good.
It looks really good. Alright, let's go check it out. But I just wanted to put that out there, is like, correct the record a little bit for people who forget is, one, this shit was not easy for a really long time. A really long time. Some of them were face roll. I want to say that.
Yes.
Some of them were really faithful from day one. They seem to have corrected that because they shouldn't have been that easy. And I think that was part of the reaction. Is that they just weren't, they should not have been as easy as they were. But all of them have been done. They're all doable. The 4-month gap, though, is kind of heavy. But, yeah.
5.
I mean, I put Holy Paladin as medium. I'm pretty sure Holy Paladin took me about 30 tries or 40 tries, something like that. Like...
It didn't take me any at all, but again, like I said, that was full mythic get for me.
Yeah, I mean, gear is the biggest difference. And when people are bringing up these stories of how easy X was and how hard that was, there are people who would think Guardian Druid was really easy back in the day. You probably had Lufa, right? But it wasn't. I rated it as the hardest for that very reason, and it took me a shitload of tries to get that done. It scales you to level 50 this time. It scales you to level 50, which is cool as fuck, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's no art gearing. It's gonna be as hard now as it is ever, unless unless next time they're like, it was a bit too hard. Here's all your borrowed power, and then everyone one shots it.
Well, the worst case scenario, right? The worst case scenario by miles is that they nerf it in like 3 days. We've listened to your feedback. Some of this stuff was overtuned. They nerfed the shit out of it, and it's just done. And nobody gives a shit about it. Right? No one gives a shit about it. Like,
The fact that it takes attempts is the fun about it.
Well, especially now you can see people are overcoming it. If people were hard stuck, I would have a totally opposite opinion on it. Like, without question. If people were definitely hard stuck, yeah, sure. But what we're seeing is that in a few hours, the people who go from calling it impossible to doable and beating it is rising. That's what we're seeing, is people overcoming it and beating it within that amount of time. Therefore, you know, it's a case of learning, watching, figuring it out, and taking those repeat tries so you actually remember what the fuck is going on. Because a lot of the stuff is muscle memory. When do I use my cooldowns? Okay, I can't use my cooldown here. I need to use it later on. Do you know what I mean?